Honey Bodara. I am a mentor at NPTE StudyBuddy, and today I'm going to give my take on a few of the very commonly asked questions. Now, the first one is, what are the top 3 mistakes that students make while preparing for NPTE? The first one, and I think is the most important one, is passive studying without active recalling. So what does this mean is you're spending a lot of time reading things from the books, your notes, or whatever material that you're referring to, but you're spending most of your time reading things from these sources rather than reflecting on the things that you've studied or recalling the things that you've already learned. So one of the strategies that you can use to tackle this, after reading a topic, ask yourself, if you were to explain the topic to somebody in detail, would you be able to do that? If the answer is yes, then that's great. You probably understood the topic, and you can move on onto the next topic. If you're not able to explain that to yourself or to somebody else, that is a clear sign that you are not clear with that topic, or you're not very thorough with that topic, and there are very high chances that if you were to solve a question based on that topic, you would probably get wrong, because you're not going to get a question that has direct lines from the notes or from the books that you're studying from. So you would have to use your logic and common sense to be able to answer the question. So I would highly recommend recalling as frequently as you can while you're studying, rather than just studying, or rather than just reading things from the books. The next mistake would be skipping the practice exams, or giving too many exams, or solving too many questions. So the extremes of either end is not good. Something to talk about when you're skipping the exams. So if you're just studying without testing yourself, if you're not taking exams, if you're not taking quizzes, then again, you're losing an opportunity to know what are your weaknesses, what areas you're not strong in, what are your weaknesses, so that you can work on it and you can improve. Versus if you're only practicing questions without reading topics or without focusing on the content, then again, that is not good, because you're only focusing on questions, you're not spending time to go over the content. Then if the question comes from those topics, again, you probably won't be able to answer. So again, stay in moderation, practice enough practice exam while focusing on the content as well. The third one would be over focusing on weak areas only. So this is actually you don't want to focus on only the areas that you're weak in, or only the subjects that you're weak in. For example, most of the students are weak in non-system, or they feel like they're weak in non-system. So most of them would spend a lot of time after studying and reviewing non-systems and would neglect the other subjects. So you don't want to be doing that, because all the subjects are equally important, and you want to give enough time to all the subjects. You don't want to just focus on the things that you feel like you're struggling in. You definitely want to invest some time doing that, but at the same time, you also want to spend time doing other subjects as well. Now, the next one is, how do I know if I'm ready to go for NPTE after all this preparation? So the first and very obvious sign is your score on practice tests. If for the first 2 exams, you haven't scored good, that is absolutely fine. That's understandable. You've just started giving exam. You're just getting in the groove, and that is okay if you haven't scored great on the first 2 exams. But by 3rd and 4th exams, you want to start seeing improvement in your score consistently. You want to maintain that score. You don't want to see drastic changes between each exams in your score. Again, that wouldn't be a good sign. So by 3rd and 4th exam, if you're gradually seeing improvement in your score, that's great. Another thing is, how long are you taking to answer the question versus how long were you taking before? So, with enough preparation, with enough practice tests and practice questions, you should be able to answer question fairly quickly when you read it. Versus if you're spending a lot of time reading the question, analyzing the question, understanding the question, and then answering it, again, that is not a good sign, because you don't have that much time to spend in one after each and every question in your NPTE. So that is again a sign you're probably not ready to take NPTE. But your score in your practice exam is improving. You're doing good. You're passing in your practice exam. You're when you see a question, you're able to solve a question fairly quickly. That these are the good signs that you're ready for NPTE. Then again, your score for your retired PED and practice PED will also give you a great deal of information on your readiness to sit for NPTE. So if you've passed in your retired PED, if you've passed in your practice PED, again, these are great signs that you're probably ready and will pass NPTE. Now, what should I do if I fail NPTE? Now, I understand that it is extremely heartbreaking and discouraging when you do not see that pass screen on your exam day, but please don't give up. You will definitely get on the other side, if not in this attempt, then in the next attempt. But, after failing, that is a very good opportunity for you to learn where you went wrong, analyze your score report, in which areas you're lagging, in which subjects you're failing, and also by how much score you're failing the exam. Again, don't rush to go for the next attempt. If you're lagging or if you're failing because of 2 or 3 questions, then I would understand that, continue your preparation and probably go for the next attempt. But if you're failing with a huge margin, then again, you don't want to rush to go for the next attempt. You really want to analyze your report, the subjects that you're weak in. Talk to somebody, talk to a mentor or a tutor if you are enrolled in coaching classes. Reach out to somebody who would help you guide through the process if you alone are feeling very discouraged to go through the whole thing all over again. Now, what is the role of StudyBuddy in your NPTE prep? So whether you're going for the exam for the first attempt, or you've already you have failed the exam and this is your next attempt, it doesn't matter. StudyBuddy is going to be a game changer for you. As I said before, just reading the book will only take you so far. It's very important that you are clear with the concepts, you're clear with the topic thoroughly, rather than just reading the information. And that's where the StudyBuddy tutor comes into picture. They will help you, they will teach each and everything in detail from the very basic, so that will help you tremendously to form a very strong foundation, so that you can learn and build a complex concepts on top of those concepts. If your foundation is good, you can tackle the other areas. But if your foundation itself is not very good, no matter what else you study, you probably are going to struggle. They also have access to the recording classes. I mean, you will also have access to the recording classes if you're not able to attend the live classes. So that is a great help. They also have topic-wise quizzes on their website. So, let's say you studied shoulder and elbow today. After studying those topics, you can take a quiz on that topic. So that, again, that will give you an idea right away how much you're good with that topic, or, are you ready to move on to the next topic, or you still need to spend some more time reviewing that topic. Next thing is also you can whenever you have question, you're reading something, you have a question, you're not able to figure out something on your own, you can reach out to the tutor or your mentor right away and have that question solved, rather than just leaving it for later and then forgetting all about it. So these are some of the few very important things that would help you tremendously in preparing for your exam. The best strategy for foreign trained PT, the first one is, while your credentialing evaluation process is undergoing, start preparing for the NPTE. You don't want to wait for your credential evaluation to go through and then prepare for the exam. You want to start doing both the things side by side, so that by the time your evaluation process is done, you're ready to take NPTE. Versus if you wait for the process to get done and then start preparing for the exam, you would have to again spend few more months preparing for the exam and then going for the exam. You would just essentially be wasting a lot of your time by doing that. So just try, as your evaluation process is undergoing, start preparing for the NPTE exam. The second one is enroll for good coaching classes. That would help tremendously. Even if you feel like, you've just graduated and, you're very fresh with all the content and you're ready to take the NPTE, unfortunately, that wouldn't be the case because, mostly in other countries, especially in my country, how we are doing is we're so obsessed with cramming everything and then regurgitate everything on paper during the exam. But unfortunately, NPTE doesn't work that way. You would really have to have very clear concepts and basics to be able to answer questions on the exam. So good coaching classes would help you tremendously, having your concepts clear and build a very strong foundation so that you can again answer complicated questions. And versus the other cases, you have graduated long time back and you have been in clinical practice for so many years and you haven't had a chance to go back to the books. Again, the coaching classes would help you tremendously in that case as well. So I would highly recommend enrolling in a coaching classes rather than just opening random books and studying on your own.